Welcome. This is a short presentation on the Creighton Regis pathway for the Doctorate of Occupational Therapy program at Creighton University. I'm Amy Mayer. I'm one of the faculty at Creighton University, and I also serve as the pathway coordinator for the Creighton Regis program. So in this short presentation, I hope to tell you a little bit about how we're collaborating with Regis in order to educate future occupational therapists, what our rationale for this is, and what is the role of the adjunct instructor. So let me first tell you a little bit about our program. We started the campus pathway in 1985, so we've been around for quite a while. We changed that to doctorate level education around 1999. In 2008, we added our entry-level Alaska pathway. We collaborate with the University of Alaska at Anchorage in order to offer the entry-level OTD. That collaboration began because we had a wonderful technological infrastructure because of our post-professional OTD program. Now, because Alaska went so well, we decided to add a Greater Omaha pathway. So those students function much like our UAA students in that they only come to campus for labs. So they watch the videos or the lectures online, more to come on that, and then they come to campus only for the labs. As in Alaska, the students only come for labs. We hire OTs that work in the Anchorage area to come and teach the labs on UAA campus. And now this fall, in 2015, we're starting our Creighton Regis pathway. So what does a pathway look like? We've got 18 to 20 students expected in the classroom at Regis or in this pathway. These students can be from anywhere in the United States. They just need to apply to Creighton's program and indicate that they're interested in the Regis pathway. Once the program begins, they must reside in the Denver area as they'll be expected to come to campus or somewhere in the community for different classroom or lab experiences. They will have their welcome week on Regis campus. A team from Creighton will come to campus and work with the Regis faculty and their team in order to orient the students to the Creighton program and the Regis campus. What the class looks like. Well, on campus, we record our lectures in class as we're really giving them in front of the campus students, or sometimes we record them in a more personal format like you're seeing now. And those are put online for the students to view anytime. That is primarily done asynchronously. So they're recorded live and then they're uploaded to the learning management system for our distance students to view. They do have exams, as all students do, but they are proctored now via an online proctoring system. So they can literally take their exams at home or anywhere that they can find a quiet space. Labs are on campus. Regis has built us a brand new lab for this program, and they will occur generally. The biggest determinant of the time is we are sharing that space with another program, so it's partially dependent on the time that they're using it and mostly dependent on when the adjunct is available to come and teach the lab. Because we know that oftentimes in our other pathways, our adjunct instructors are working full or part-time in the community somewhere. So it depends on when they can get to campus, get set up, and get the lab initiated. We do look for adjuncts who have expertise in the area that they're asked to, or that they're being involved in teaching a course. Fieldwork and professional rotation for the Regis students. They have the same placement process as our campus students, our UAA students, our GO students. And we have contracted sites for level 1s and level 2s all over the country. The Regis students have access to all those contracts. Now, for their professional rotation, same process as our other pathways. They can go anywhere in the world as long as they design something and we can set up a contract with that site. So the philosophy or the delivery model is Creighton has one curriculum and 4 pathways now. So we do the best that we possibly can to deliver a parallel experience from the campus to UAA to GO to Regis. And that is our goal. Now we recognize that Denver has its own its own community needs, as Alaskas are different. So when it comes to doing things in the community, things may be a little bit different. The instructor of record designs the labs and provides an agenda for the labs to the different pathway adjuncts, and we try to keep those as parallel as possible, but we do recognize that whoever's teaching the lab has had different experiences, different stories to tell, different points to integrate into that lab, and that's what makes each pathway unique and different. So what is the rationale for this pathway? There is a trend in distance education, and we like to think here at Creighton we're leading the way in distance education. We've had plenty of time now to show that we're good at this. We are graduating students. They're doing well. They're practicing in the community. Some of our Alaska graduates have started their own private practice. They're doing extremely well. So we're taking this model and implementing it in other places so that we can continue showing and exploring the success of distance education in healthcare. We also know that there's an increased demand for doctorate level education, which is one of the reasons we started our GO pathway. And there is a occupational therapy workforce shortage in the mountain region. We also know that OT is the demand for OTs is increasing and will continue to increase. So let's talk about the different teaching roles that we have here at Creighton. So we have the instructor of record. We frequently refer to that as the IOR. That is the faculty on campus who's responsible for the entire course and the team that teaches the course. And some of the team members that help teach the course, we have lab assistants, and those are OTs that we generally bring in to help with the campus labs. We do have approximately 60 students in our campus core class now, so that's about 30 students per lab. So we do bring in a lab assistant to help manage and teach that number of students. We also have teaching assistants that we use. The instructor of record works with a teaching assistant to maybe help with grading or to help manage other course content. We have teaching assistants that live in Omaha, or our teaching assistants can be at a distance as well, since a lot of our grading and teaching occurs online through a learning management system now. And then we have the adjunct lab instructor. That is hopefully you. They help teach and manage the lab portion of the course at the different pathways. So we also have two different coordinators, so I want to explain that. I am the coordinator for the Creighton Regis pathway, and I coordinate all the pathway activities, making sure that things go smoothly for the adjuncts, between the faculty and the students, and the faculty and the coordinator at Regis. So anything Creighton Regis related, you can contact me and I can help you figure it out. Then we also have the Creighton Regis Occupational Therapy Academic Program Coordinator who resides on the Regis campus, and that is Suzanne Holm, who started in the spring summer of 2015. She will be on campus full-time, available to help support student needs as well as adjunct faculty needs, and to make sure the Regis-related processes go well for the students. It takes quite a bit of coordination between Creighton and Regis to make sure that students have everything that they need. So what experience do you need to be an adjunct instructor for the Creighton program, particularly at Regis? We're looking for any experience in teaching level 1 or level 2, because you're teaching labs, you're teaching a lot of clinical aspects, things that you probably do every day. So if you've taken a student, then you're probably more prepared to deal with the types of things that come up, because if you take students in the clinic, sometimes things come up in terms of professional behaviors. Those things can come up in lab as well. So we want you prepared and ready to have some idea how to deal with those things. If you have any other type of teaching, continuing education teaching, teaching for other programs, that's a plus as well. So make sure and let us know that when you apply. But if you don't have any training and you're really interested and you have a lot of great experience, we will provide you training as well. So we provide some in person and we provide some online. You will, when hired as an adjunct, receive a Creighton University laptop, and we will provide you training on how to get on that, how to get on the learning management system so that you can see the course that you're involved in online. You can see what the IOR sees, you can see what the students are seeing. Now, what you're not responsible for is creating course content. The instructor of record is responsible for that and sharing all that information with you. Now, we do occasionally ask our adjuncts to share information that they have expertise in, and you might be asked to create a lecture or a learning module or a lab activity. So what are some of the practical pieces of this job? So the hours. The labs are either 2 or 3 hours long, depending on whether it's a 3-credit course or a 4-credit course. Generally, most of the courses are 3-credit courses, so the labs are 2 hours long. Now, the summer courses are actually compressed. So, for example, in physical rehabilitation 2, the students have 4 credits condensed into 6 weeks. So those labs are much more intensive. So we need somebody who has more availability in a shorter period of time in order to teach that course, as well as our upper extremity course, the splinting course that also occurs in the summer, which is 3 credits condensed into 5 weeks. So pretty intense, but that's the only place in our curriculum where we have that level of lab intensive. So other pieces of the responsibility: lab setup, cleanup, that can take about an hour a week. Lab preparation, which might include watching the lectures that the student watch or looking over the reading, looking over the lab notes to make sure you have everything or you're prepared to teach whatever it is the IOR wants to teach that week or has prepared to teach that week. You also might spend time on the phone talking to the IOR. I typically talk to my adjunct right before their lab starts or a little while before their lab starts, and then after their lab is over in order to debrief a little bit. There's grading that occurs, that ebbs and flows throughout the semester. There may be student issues to deal with. There might be labs to make up if you have a student who is ill. As far as vacation and time off, it's preferred that you do not schedule a vacation during the semester that you're teaching lab, or you schedule it so it doesn't interfere with lab so that we can stay on schedule and keep lab flowing at the same pace that all the other labs and the other pathways are flowing. The adjunct employment start date is generally, we're trying to make this 4 to 6 weeks before the start of the semester, and it ends approximately 1 week after the semester is over. This is a salaried position, so it's one lump sum, regardless of the hours, and the hours do vary from week to week. Lab times are generally late afternoon or evening, and the IOR, the instructor of record, works with the adjunct to determine the day and the time of the lab. It depends on when the adjunct can get there to teach the lab. The IOR likes to have a little bit of control over the day that it's taught, because we like on campus to be able to have the lecture and then for us to teach a lab to make sure that the activities went well, we were able to cover everything, and then the distance pathways have their labs so that we can tell you, take this out, add this in, so we can keep that communication going. We ask that you review the course content prior to coming to the lab so you know exactly what's expected of the students, what the students have viewed and what they are supposed to know and understand when coming to the lab. Tracking attendance of students who attend lab, letting us know if there's someone who's missing so that they can make that up. Engaging in lab preparation, setup, cleanup, evaluating face-to-face participation of the students in the lab activities, and providing instruction and formative feedback to the students. So making sure that everyone is staying on track. How are they doing? Is everyone able to master the skill that we're working on that particular week or that particular module? Attending and assisting in any off-campus. We do have several courses that do take the students off-site into the community to do different activities. We would ask that you accompany them if it's related to the lab that you teach. Assessing performance and practicums, providing feedback to the IOR. In several of our courses, we do use a simulation center where we do practical exams, and you would ask to be involved in that as well. Those are typically scheduled during lab times. There may need to be some flexibility there, but we cross that bridge when we come to it. Grading, this is generally an area that is particularly challenging to adjuncts, especially if they don't have any experience with grading. Typically, your IOR will work with you very closely to help you understand exactly how to grade. We'll provide you rubrics and some structure in order to help maintain consistency across all our cohorts. And then provide the IOR with feedback on the student performance during any of the activities. We want to know how our students in all the pathways are performing and making sure that everybody's keeping up and doing great. We do ask that you use your Creighton University email for communication with your IOR. This helps us provide a record. This keeps things consistent. If you get in the habit of using your Creighton email, the students use their Creighton email, then we're all making sure we're not missing anything in our communication, because we know with our distance pathways, communication is incredibly important. Answering student questions, you might need to meet with a student before a lab or after a lab if they have any particular questions. They're always welcome to call the instructor of record, but we find that they get very comfortable with the adjuncts and like to speak to them, and they understand that the adjunct is the one who's often grading them, and so they want your opinion, they want your thoughts, and I always ask that my adjuncts, when they communicate with the students, that they copy me on everything so that I can weigh in or help out or make sure things are going smoothly. All right. Responding to the IOR in a timely and consistent fashion. Because the semester can be very fast-paced, because we're communicating at a distance, we need to make sure that you're checking your email on a regular basis, that you're available. We don't expect, if you have a job, a full-time or part-time job, we don't expect you to drop everything and immediately respond to us. But a regular checking of email in case something changed, in case a student is sick or on a leave, we can communicate that information to you very quickly. Reporting student issues back to us. As I mentioned, I like the adjunct to copy me so I know what's going on. It's important that have I said it's important to communicate? Attending an end of semester review and debriefing session. We do provide you evaluation and feedback to let you know how you did. When we have our end of the semester evaluations for the course in general, we do ask some specific questions about the adjunct so that you can get constructive feedback. And if teaching is a long-term goal of yours, we want to help you get better and improve your teaching skills and meet your professional goals. We might ask you to develop lab activities, exam questions, and again, that's what you're comfortable with and what your professional goals are as well. Here's a quick snapshot, and that's pretty small, but you can find this on our OSA website at the university, or you can email me. I'd be happy to provide you this in a bigger format. But this is a snapshot of the overall curriculum. And I've put in green there where the labs occur and what courses have associated labs. So if you're interested in teaching a particular part of the curriculum, a particular content, you can check this out and see where your professional goals or your experience fits with our particular curriculum. So if you're looking for, I see courses I think I'm interested in, but what are the descriptions or what is this course really about? You can go to this link and you can find the course descriptions there. If you are interested in something in particular, you can email me, we can talk on the phone, and I can tell you a little bit more about that course as well. So what's the hiring process look like? We like to hire our adjuncts at least one semester ahead of when the course actually occurs. So if we're thinking about the spring semester that starts in January, we'd really like to be looking at hiring for that probably no later than August, September. That gives us plenty of time to plan for that semester when things are going to occur. how do you get hired at a distance? We'll do phone interviews. So the instructor of record will likely work with me and give you a call, set up a time where we can all talk together on the phone. You'll get a copy of the syllabus so you can look that over and ask any questions that you have so that you can make a good decision about your involvement as well. So if you are offered an adjunct position, and I'll just insert now, there is a limited number of adjunct positions because there are a limited number of labs in the curriculum, but we do have lots of other opportunities of how you could potentially be involved in the program. That could be taking level 1 or level 2 students, or even professional rotation students. We do have service activities, community-based activities connected with other classes. If you're really interested in getting involved in the program, give me a call or give Suzanne a call and we can talk with you about other opportunities. But if you are offered an adjunct position, then we ask that you submit the following paperwork that you see on the slide there. And we need to make sure that that paperwork comes in, as I mentioned before, plenty early. So if you're being hired for, let's say, the upcoming fall semester, then we really need your paperwork in by the 1st of July. That gives us time to get that paperwork in, process, get you into the system, and then actually get you access to our learning management system, hopefully by mid-July, so that you have 4 to 6 weeks to start preparing for the fall semester. That doesn't necessarily mean you have to necessarily do anything. You need to be communicating with the instructor of record. And if you're like me and you're a person who likes to really plan ahead, I want to know what books are the students using. I need to get those books and I need to start skimming over. And yes, you'll be teaching a lot of things that you do every day, but it can be a really different process when you're breaking down those things, and as an experienced clinician, you do them so automatically. Sometimes it's difficult to break it down to someone who knows nothing. So having plenty of time for you to look over the materials, look over the books, look over the syllabus, talk with the instructor of record, get comfortable with the learning management system is our goal, so that you're ready when the semester starts in August. You're ready to rock and roll. Same thing with spring semester, which runs from January to May. We're going to ask you to get paperwork in by November 1st so that we can process all that, get you started in the system mid to late November so that you're ready in January when the spring semester starts. And then the same thing with summer, of course. So it might seem a little bit early what we're looking for from you, an early commitment, but that really, in the world of academia, planning is everything. So if you're interested, if you have any questions, as I said, please feel free to contact me. I can definitely get you to the right person or answer questions for you if you have more. And I think that's it. All right, well, best of luck to you. I hope to hear from you, and thank you.